And tonight on the Daily Wrap, one day after 9 people were shot and killed in an Oregon college, there are more questions than answers. And the Vatican finally admits Pope Francis met with Kim Davis. But do they really think it was a mistake? God bless us. We talk about that and more. Plus, we read your comments. Always interesting. This is the Daily Wrap, live from New York City. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Joe Concha, along with my co-host Rick Unger.
How are you today?
I'm doing all right. Getting away from the shooting for a second, I'm hearing that John Boehner's replacement may not be the guy we think it may be.
Well, I think we've learned that Chairman Chaffetz would like to run for the job now. If we're betting here on the set, anybody, I don't think that's going to happen.
But
so I don't know if it's going to be who we thought, though, either. He did really step in it, didn't he?
Yeah, he's had a tough week, no question about it. But either way, if people are running against McCarthy, that's more entertainment for us.
Clearly, and that's what matters. You got that exactly right.
And Mr. Matters is right. She's the news director for the Tea Party News Network and the author of a tremendous new book, Roar, the New Conservative Woman Speaks Out. It's also her first time at the Daily Wrap, which probably means it's her last. Scotty Nell Hughes is here.
Bring it. Bring it. Oh, no. I have been prepping all of my lifetime to sit in this seat between the three of you.
You're going to be horrified, I mean. You're not going to want to come back.
Oh, okay.
We know you'll make the cut. It's us that we're worried about.
I've handled each one of you individually over the past 3 years of my broadcasting career, and I've never had you all at once. This is like peanut butter and jelly fried.
I am so not going on that line.
It's so.
I think we better introduce Jonathan.
Yeah, I think so. So
you have my glasses.
He's a former special agent, a former Navy SEAL, and currently the very cerebral president of Continued Services. Jonathan Gilliam is back. Can we show him real quick? Ah, there he is.
It doesn't work.
Those are mine.
It's my card can't
work. No.
Yeah, he's like Rick Perry, but different. Yeah. All right, let's get to the daily download.
So the notion that gun laws don't work or just will make it harder for law-abiding citizens and criminals will still get their guns, it's not borne out by the evidence. Somebody somewhere will comment and say, Obama politicized this issue. Well, this is something we should politicize.
And that was President Obama last night calling for stricter gun laws. This in the wake of a mass shooting at an Oregon college that left 9 dead and 7 injured. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton also calling for stricter gun measures.
It's just beyond my comprehension that we are seeing these mass murders happen again and again and again. And as I have said, we have got to get the political will to do everything we can to keep people safe. You know, I know there is a way to have sensible gun control measures that help prevent violence, prevent guns from getting into the wrong hands, and save lives. And I am committed to doing everything I can to achieve that.
And on the GOP side, Donald Trump was asked on Morning Joe what he would have done as president in the wake of the shooting.
Well, first of all, you have very strong laws on the books, but you're always going to have problems. I mean, we have millions and millions of people. We have millions of sick people all over the world. It can happen all over the world, and it does happen all over the world, by the way, but this is sort of unique to this country, the school shootings. Well, you know, it's not politically correct to say that, but you're going to have difficulty, and that will be for the next million years. You're going to have difficulty. People are going to slip through the cracks, and even if you did great mental health programs, people are going to slip through the cracks.
One thing I agreed with the president on yesterday was he said that the media will cover this in the same way over and over again, because it's almost like muscle memory, right? Do we need stricter gun laws? Do we need better mental illness treatment or screening? On and on. What do you think we should talk about here tonight?
Well, first of all, I really like your choice of words. This is all about muscle memory. I talked about this today on the radio. Remember your feelings when the horrible thing in Connecticut happened.
Sandy Hook.
Right, Sandy Hook. And compare them to what your feelings are today. We've become so used to this that our feelings are very different. It's now muscle memory, and the media reacts accordingly. We say the same things. We're having the same debate. You know, I've gotten sensitive about this. I don't want to talk about guns. We're going to have the same conversation. We're going to end up at the same place we always end up, whether you're pro-gun, anti-gun. It's not going to fix this, folks. We need to start talking about creative technological solutions to problems specifically like what happened yesterday. I don't want to talk about the big picture. I want to talk about what can be done to lessen the chances of some wacko with guns coming on, or knives, or bats, or anything else, coming onto a campus and killing a lot of people. That's what I want us to talk about.
Well, but here's the problem. It's about the leadership of it. If you don't sit here and blame it all on the media, when the president himself starts off his very passionate press conference going, let's talk about guns. We need to get the guns.
I agree.
So they're just following, the media is just following the footsteps of the president and elected officials immediately coming out, putting the blame on the NRA as much as possible.
It just doesn't do us any good.
It doesn't, but the question is, what can you do? Evil is going to happen. If evil wants to do it, they're going to do it. You know, my elementary school, they just put in this extensive security system. It doesn't matter. I sat there and said, it doesn't matter what you have on the building. The kids are out on the playground. Someone can drive by and just take out, the entire...
But it doesn't matter, and there's nothing you can do. Don't help solve it either.
But I agree with that, but at the same time, but the question is, if that zone was not a gun-free zone, and we've talked about this, if it wasn't a gun-free zone, if the enemy did not realize that they were the only ones armed on that campus, do you think they would be as emboldened to go in there?
But you're coming, because the guy's nuts.
Well,
you're going
they
back.
all are.
You're going back, and I'm not saying you're wrong.
Right.
I'm saying it's just the same old argument.
So then let's get rid of gun-free zones. I agree with the president.
I don't care. I don't know how to be any clearer about this. Can we discuss this? And what you can do to protect people in a university setting, or any large setting, and not go into another fight about gun-free zones versus no gun-free zones.
You believe that every campus? Do you believe every campus should have armed security guards, multiple ones?
Absolutely,
but
that's guns on campus. That's the other side, especially when you consider a lot of these security campuses. A lot of the security police are just students themselves. They've kind of been elevated. They're just like one level below mall cops in some cases. And these are kids just working on their graduate degree in law enforcement. So no, I think at this point the only way, I can't see any other solution. Don't tell me about putting up metal detectors, because it would have helped in this situation.
Well, there are actually certain types. You're right. I mean,
there's no way unless you put it in every classroom door, and by then it's too late.
I actually did some homework on this today with somebody who was on the radio with me. You're right. You can't be putting up metal detectors all. No. You're going to get nothing but false positives. Nothing's going to work, because everybody's going to have to go through and take.
And they have to pay for it too.
But there is technology out there, and apparently it's being perfected, that would not only pick up metal without you having to go through something, it can pick up a gun, the components of a gun. That sounds to me like a good investment, because now you can actually track somebody who may have something bad in their mind.
But let's go back to it. Evil's going to do if evil wants to do it. They're going to find a way.
Enough solution.
No, it is. Look at England. Go look at England. Biggest gun control, and they actually still have one of the highest murder rates in the world.
Coming back to gun
but
control. I don't know how to dissuade
because I'm saying get rid of it. Let the legal gun owners be able to protect themselves. We have literally allowed the enemy to be armed here on our homeland.
Let's bring in Jonathan here real fast. Because you're like the third wheel on a bad date right now. Now look, the interesting stat I read today, and it's all over Twitter, is that gun deaths are down 50% in this country since 1993, 49% to be exact. Yet it seems like it's a growing problem. Is it because these mass shootings just generate more media attention because they're happening at college campuses? And in this case, you have the shooter who's asking religions before he's executing people, so therefore it's more sensational. I was amazed to read that stat.
I think it progresses along with social media. The more social media is there to show that this many people have been killed, that it was this bloody, that, in terrorism, this guy's head's been cut off or whatever, it's going to make these things look more common, bigger than, I'm not saying bigger than they really are, but they're going to make them look very big because they're pushed out all over social media.
You think social media is responsible?
No.
No.
Social media is responsible for making this into a recognized thing that's going on. So there's probably less people. The statistic was that there's less shootings, correct?
49% less shootings, I guess.
But there are more
known.
School shootings. But they're more known,
Right.
and so as the shootings go down, the perception goes up that there's more. See, that's what I'm saying, is that social media has pushed this to where
in reality,
it looks
it's gone down. Now, because
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Because I want us to look at fixes that aren't just about guns.
What
else is there?
I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm not going to sit here and say the regulations might have had something to do with it.
Right.
I don't want to even go there, though.
Well, share your thoughts on the Oregon shooting by going to newsmaxtv.com/comments. There it is right down there. Coming up next, we look and took your Newsmax cameras, they're actually ours, out into the streets of liberal New York City to find out what New Yorkers think about gun laws. You're not going to want to miss that. Stick around. This is the Daily Wrap on a Friday afternoon.